Do you believe if this law were in place that some of those people would be alive?
Absolutely. So without a question, if a person is locked up in jail, they're unable to do harm to the greater community. And what we know is there is a group of super predators. These are people who have lost their conscience. They don't care. They're dangerous.
Our good friend Paul Castro back in May busting down the life or death stakes involved with criminal bond reform and the capacity of Texans on November 4th to grant judges additional authority to keep repeat violent offenders behind bars pending trial. Governor Greg Abbott has made the case in brutally honest terms.
People are getting tired of being killed. It's simply that. People are being slaughtered in Harris County.
Panel Texans can grant judges this additional power a week from Tuesday by voting yes on Proposition 3. Nyanza, how are you voting? You don't have to tell me.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you how I'm voting, but I'm kind of on the fence. I agree 100% with what Paul said, but I also think that for those people who have committed crimes, they may not be guilty. If you're denied bail and you're set in jail for 1 or 2 years, then what if you're found innocent and you have a wonderful lawyer like my guy here, Gary, and he represents you and you're not guilty? Then that's 2 years of your life. It does irreparable harm, but also you can't bring back somebody from the dead. So do you take a chance? I don't know.
What do you say to the families of those whose loved ones have been killed by folks with a big rap sheet and her out on bond?
See,
and go ahead, Gary.
Well, there's a tension in the system, okay? Because Nyanza just encapsulated it. You have people who are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But the way the system really works is you're presumed guilty until you go to trial, then you're presumed innocent. And so you've got to decide what's right. You do have innocent people or people that be acquitted later that get stuck in jail because they don't have enough money even though they're charged with a serious crime. But on the other hand, you have bad people that get out on bond. So the idea of giving the judges more discretion, I think is a good idea. I think
discretion's the operative word, Holly. I mean, they don't have to exercise it.
Absolutely, and I think there's been some misunderstanding about what Proposition 3 does. It does not mandate that a judge detain these certain criminals without bail. It's a certain set of violent offenses, continuous trafficking of persons, certain sexual offenses. And then the district attorney's office must make the case, must present clear and convincing evidence that this person is a risk to the community or is not likely to return for their court appearance, and then the judge still has that discretion. So it's not an automatic detention, and I think all it really does, it takes away the excuse that some of our judges have used to say I have to set bail for this person, even though they've been accused of 67 crimes or whatever it is. So it's a tool in the right direction, but it's not going to solve the problem.
Yeah, Chris, isn't that critically important in a system where we elect our judges instead of having our judges appointed by a star chamber of smart people?
Well, and I appreciate the shout out, by the way. Well, so to answer that question, I would never be in favor of a system that didn't elect judges. The people should always be able to elect the judge and not one person.
Right.
Having been on both sides of this issue now, having a case where I benefited from someone being incarcerated on the other side, I'm torn on this because I represent people all the time who benefit from a system where they've been presumed innocent until their trial. But you have to have a system in place where a judge has the ability to weigh this. And if this law is handled the way it should be, then it'll work fine.
Okay, we're going to hear from Paul extensively in overtime on this. When we come back, a controversial Harris County criminal court judge slapped with a very public reprimand after lying and scheming to move a mass killer off death row.